Please welcome Lisa! Well, this looks great. You could get misty-eyed looking at that.
I often got misty-eyed in the shoot. A few times I felt like, oh, I'm going to have to leave the set. But also they were hilarious. They really made me laugh as well.
Yeah. It's a really beautiful show. What drew you to this idea?
Well, I think because after years of hosting 7:30 where I was interviewing lots of politicians and celebrities, you realise sometimes it's hard to bust through people's spin and get to the real person. And this was a French format, and I watched an episode of the French version where they had the President, Emmanuel Macron, and I just realised, oh, you can't really duck these kind of very direct questions, and I felt like, oh, this could be really good. And so that was what hooked my interest.
Yeah, I have struggled getting through the spin when I interview politics. It's tough, Lee. So you're there as their mentor to kind of guide them. But did they teach you anything?
Oh, absolutely. They reminded me that when you're interviewing people that have been interviewed a lot, trying to come up with something they haven't been asked before is the key to getting that engagement going, and so that they're not bored and so on. So that was a really good reminder. And also just to appreciate it, because I think if you're doing it all the time, it can start to feel normal. Whereas they would always be like, Sam Neill's coming in, oh my God. Like, we get to talk to Sam Neill, ask Sam Neill a question, or the Prime Minister. And so that was also a reminder, like, yeah, you know what, it's very special to get to talk to those kind of people.
Yeah. You said they can't duck the questions. Is that because of the questions or because of who's asking them?
I think a little bit of both, but I think it's partly who's asking them, because there's no agenda. It's just really sincere curiosity and very direct. So there's no there's nothing hidden going on there.
Performance happening.
No. And so, like, for example, one of my favourite questions was this boy Dylan, who asked Hamish Blake, the comedian, how much money do you have in dollars and cents?
Great question.
Great question. And so Albo got asked of his fiancée Jodie, how many times have you kissed Jodie?
Oh, wow. And how did he answer that?
He said, he was kind of taken aback, and then he said, oh, I don't think I've kept count. Not enough. Not enough.
Imagine how much trouble you'd get in if you'd asked that question.
Well, exactly. That's right. So that was also great, because sometimes people would ask things and I think, oh, I'd love to know the answer to that, but I probably wouldn't have the guts to ask it myself.
Yeah.
We had a situation today in politics where Peter Dutton was called a sook by Tony Burke. Do you miss that colourful language? I mean, you and I can go all the way back to Keating and the language that he used.
Absolutely.
You miss it?
Do you know what, Steve? I really don't, because it was kind of time... When the Queen died, various people at work said to me, oh, you must have been sorry you weren't on the desk on the day the Queen died. But actually, the only feeling I had was relief that, oh, thank goodness that I don't have to be the person in the hot seat today, and it hasn't upended my whole life for today. So it was just kind of time for me to do something different.
But don't tell me that when you saw the vision of Donald Trump's ear getting done by a bullet, that you didn't think, oh, I wish I was at work today.
Look, I was interested when I saw it, but in all honesty, I really didn't think that. Because, I mean, I've been doing it, it's not just the 7:30 years, it's 30 years, because I've been doing it since I was 20. Wow. So it just kind of felt on the road, and it just kind of felt like time to step out of that daily news cycle.
And let someone else ask all the questions.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I love working with not just the group of people on the Assembly, but some of my younger colleagues. That's one of the things I wanted the ABC to give me, was space to work with younger reporters and people coming through. And so that I find that really satisfying, to be not the person up the front all the time.
Just quickly before we let you go, this is very nervous for me, interviewing a master interviewer about your interviewing techniques. Do you have a tip for me on how to be a better interviewer? You
are doing completely fine. That was perfectly well asked.
Really? That's not what my boss said. Is it? I can't wait to go to the meeting tomorrow with that information. That's exciting.
What does fine mean? C+?
Yeah. Please get degrees while they're in.
Oh, that's mean.
Well, no, I'm just trying to decode it.
Well, the Assembly airs this week on the ABC. Would you please thank Lisa?
Thank you. Thanks, guys.